Hello friends, good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Good afternoon Nisha. Good afternoon Archana. Yes guys, am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin with today's session. Yes guys. Okay, thank you guys. Now let's begin with another important chapter of medieval Indian history, that is Muhammad Ghori and his major invasions. Okay, now before I begin this chapter, for the aspirants who are new to the platform, hello everyone, hi, this is Alok Ojha, welcome to StudyIQ IS English. I have already covered ancient Indian history series. I have also covered certain major parts of modern Indian history series, and I have started with medieval Indian history series yesterday itself. Okay, yesterday we had discussed one of the important topics about what actually Islam is. Who was Muhammad bin Qasim? Who is the first Muslim invader of India? What was a major purpose for Mahmud of Ghazni coming to India? And now let's discuss about Muhammad Ghori, who is believed that he laid down the actual foundation of Ghurid Empire in India. Now let me go into a bit background of Muhammad Ghori. But before I go into a bit background of Muhammad Ghori, okay, for the aspirants who are new to the platform, I'll go for a very quick revision. Okay, a very quick revision. Now, as I have told you particularly, Islam basically means surrender to one particular entity, that is Allah. And the Islam was majorly being started by Prophet Muhammad, who is considered as per different Islamic scholars as a 25th prophet. Now, after that began the series of caliph, and as per Sunnah specifically there are four important caliph. The position of caliph with the passage of time became more powerful. Apart from yielding religious powers, they also yielded particularly what? Political powers. So there were different dynasties who were eyeing on the position of caliph. And one such dynasty was Umayyad dynasty. Muhammad bin Qasim, who is referred as the first Muslim invader of India, was dispatched to India by the Umayyad dynasty viceroy or governor, whose name was Al-Hajjaj. Now, Umayyad dynasty was being followed by another important dynasty whose name was Abbasid dynasty. Now, who played important role in formation of these dynasty? The major role was being played by the nobles, and these nobles were not loyal towards anyone. They oftenly shift their loyalties, and their loyalty was completely based on who is more powerful. Okay, so they never ever they were loyal to anyone else. Now Abbasid were being replaced by Samanid, and we had discussed previously about Samanid. Now Samanid, there was a person whose name was Al-Patagin. He had a slave and son-in-law whose name was Subuktagin. Subuktagin declared himself as independent, and after declaring himself as independent, he made Ghazni as its capital and established an independent dynasty in the form of Ghaznavid. Now Subuktagin was succeeded by his son Mahmud of Ghazni. Please do not get confused. Yesterday we have seen these things in quite depth and detail. Okay, I'll repeat: Umayyad, Abbasid, Samanid. After Samanid, in simple word, was Ghaznavid. Okay, and who was the major ruler of Ghaznavid? Mahmud of Ghazni. We have seen in quite depth and detail about the expeditions that were being led by Mahmud of Ghazni in India. Mahmud of Ghazni never ever had the intention to establish a permanent settlement in India. In fact, one of the major intentions of Mahmud of Ghazni was to plunder India, was to loot India. was to acquire Indian elephants and artisans. So that was a major purpose. He has conducted more than 17 raids in India, the most important one being the raid at the Somnath temple in Gujarat. Now, there was a lot of turmoil in Central Asia, and the situation in Central Asia was very chaotic situation right now. And there were two major dynasties specifically which were fighting to have a good control over Central Asia. One was Khorasan Empire and the other one was Ghurid Empire. I repeat, Khorasan and Ghurid. Please try and understand this. Okay? Now, Ghaznavid started declining in Central Asia. There were two major empires, and specifically one was Khorasan Empire, or rather than saying Khorasan Empire, it is Khwarezmi Empire. I repeat, it is Khwarezmi Empire, and Khorasan was a place in Central Asia, and Khwarezmi Empire and Ghurid both were having an eye on this place. I'll repeat the points again. Pay attention carefully. Please do not get confused. Have a pen and paper along with you so that you can note down important facts and terminologies. Okay? Now, particularly speaking, there is a place called as Khorasan in Central Asia. Now, this place became bone of contention between two important dynasties. One dynasty was Khwarezmi Empire and the other one was Ghurid Empire. Khwarezmi Empire, with the passage of time, became one of the most powerful empires in the region of Central Asia. And Ghurid Empire, it got established itself in the region of Ghor, located in Afghanistan. Now what happened? With the passage of time, this empire started getting more powerful. And Ghurid Empire was just confined to the region of Ghor, Balkh and certain parts of Ghazni in Afghanistan. So what happened? The region of Khorasan, the major part of Central Asia, was acquired by Khwarezmi Empire. Now Ghurid had no other option except to move towards India. And now Muhammad Ghori, who was considered as one of the founders of Ghurid Empire, started moving towards India. Okay? He established his brother Ghiyatuddin in the region of Ghur, and now he started moving towards the region of India. He started leading expedition towards India. Got the point still here? Any question, any query, any sort of doubt? Yes, please stop me, ask me immediately. Yes, please. I'll repeat the points again. Khorasan, Central Asia, bone of contention between two, the Khwarezmi Empire and the Ghurid Empire. Now, Khwarezmi Empire gained a major part of Central Asia. Ghurid Empire, located in Afghanistan, had no other option except to move towards India. And then finally comes Muhammad Ghori, who further moved towards India. Okay? Now, hope so the points are clear till here. Any question, any query? Archana, don't worry about this. In fact, even medieval Indian history is quite easier. It's not that modern history is easier. So, medieval Indian history is also easier. Don't worry about this. Okay. Now, moving ahead about Muhammad Ghori and his military expeditions. Now, Muhammad Ghori started increasing his power and influence. And now, what is a major difference is particularly between the expeditions led by Mahmud of Ghazni and the expeditions led by Muhammad Ghori. One major difference is Mahmud of Ghazni only had the intention to plunder India. Whereas this person, Muhammad Ghori, not only had the intentions to plunder India, he also had the intention to establish permanent settlement in India. In simple words, he also had the intention to acquire the major parts of northern and northwestern India. Okay? Now, what actually motivated Muhammad Ghori to come towards India? As we have seen right from the ancient India, Yesterday itself, I have given you the example of Alexander. Why was Alexander attracted towards India? It was not only the geography of India, but also he was attracted towards the wealth of India. Similarly, Mahmud of Ghazni was also attracted towards wealth of India, and similarly, this person, Muhammad Ghori, was also attracted towards wealth of India. Okay? Second major thing, Mahmud of Ghazni, he led 17 successful expeditions in India. What these expeditions prove? These expeditions proves one thing. Although Indian rulers were quite strong, although Indian rulers had good military tactics, but it was not that good in comparison to the Central Asian invaders. Second thing that we have learnt. Third thing that we have learnt was, particularly, we majorly focused on the elephants. And the Central Asian invaders or the early Islamic invaders majorly focused on fast-moving cavalry or a staggering cavalry. And cavalry plays a very crucial role in the success of any ruler. I'll give you one of the finest example about this. You might have heard about Peshwa Bajirao ji. You might have seen the movie Bajirao Mastani, correct? So it is believed that particularly the rulers of Bundelkhand, okay, he sought help from Peshwa Bajirao. Why? Because at that time, particularly Bangash Khan, the Mughal emperor, was taking over the governor of the Mughal emperor. He was taking over the region of Bundelkhand. And at that time, the ruler of Bundelkhand, he sought help from whom? He sought help from Peshwa Bajirao ji. Why did he seek help from Peshwa Bajirao? Because Peshwa Bajirao ji used one technique which is referred as blitzkrieg technique. And what is blitzkrieg technique? Attack at the speed of lightning. At a very high pace, he used to attack. Attack, destroy and come back. That was a technique used by Peshwa Bajirao in all his battles. And he had, like it is believed that many historians believe that he fought more than 120 battles in his life and he was successful in all the battles. Why? Because he focused on fast-moving cavalry. Similarly, the early Islamic invaders, they focused on fast-moving cavalry. Apart from this, the invaders came to India. This proved one thing. There is internal rivalry. There is internal dissensions between Indian rulers. So Mahmud of Ghazni, although he went back to his country, although he went back to Ghazni, Afghanistan, but still he laid the foundation for the forthcoming Islamic invaders in India. Okay, he laid the basic route for the invaders coming into India. That was one of the major things. Now, what did Muhammad Ghori do? Now, Muhammad Ghori, particularly speaking, he came in India and he followed the same process that was being followed by whom? Followed by Mahmud of Ghazni. But one mistake that he did. Now, what did Mahmud of Ghazni do? Mahmud of Ghazni directly did not attack the western part of India. It was the last part to be attacked by Mahmud of Ghazni. Now, Mahmud of Ghazni, he came from northwestern part. He conquered the region of Multan in Punjab. Then he moved towards western UP. Okay. Then he moved towards certain parts of Rajasthan, Kannauj, and then he came to Western India. Now, what does this person do? Muhammad Ghori, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not saying that whatever has been written in the NCERT or Tamil Nadu State Board book is completely false. But to an extent, what happens here? A partial truth has been revealed to us. How? I'll give you a very small example about this. You might have heard about one fact that Prithviraj Chauhan ji and Muhammad Ghori fought two major battles. First battle of Tarain and second battle of Tarain, which was fought 1 year after the other, 1191 AD and 1192 AD. But is this the actual truth? In fact, there are different books. Like one of the book is Prithviraj Raso, written by Chandra Bardai. Okay. This mentions that approximately 17 or 20 battles or skirmishes were there between Prithviraj Chauhan ji and Muhammad Ghori from 1186 AD to 1191 AD. Okay, so it is not just the second battle of Tarain that was being fought or the first battle of Tarain that was being fought. Okay, so now let's explore about Muhammad Ghori and his invasions, how Prithviraj Chauhan ji, he initially defended the region of Ajmer. Muhammad Ghori. Now, let me give you a brief introduction about Prithviraj Chauhan ji initially, and then we'll move with Muhammad Ghori. Prithviraj Chauhan ji, he was ruling in the region of Ajmer. Someshwar Chauhan ji and Karpuri Devi, particularly of Hayas of Kalchuri dynasty, was his mother. So Prithviraj Chauhan ji was born to Someshwar Chauhan and Karpuri Devi. They were ruling in the region of Ajmer, particularly located in Rajasthan. Now, at the very young age of 9, he was expert in all sorts of warfare practices. He started learning new skills associated with warfare. The kingdom at that time, like Prithviraj Chauhan ji, ruled the kingdom with the help of his loyal prime minister, whose name was Kadambavas. Okay? Now, this is the initial introduction of Prithviraj Chauhan ji. Now, what happened? Let's understand one important thing. Muhammad Ghori, he captured the region of Golan Pass. He captured the region of Multan located in Punjab, presently Pakistan. He captured the region of Ojha, which is located in Sindh. Now what happened? Without creating any suitable base in northern part of India, Muhammad Ghori directly moved towards the region of Gujarat. Actually, he wanted to capture the region of Somnath because he knew how Mahmud of Ghazni has plundered Somnath and accrued huge amount of wealth. Similarly, this person, Muhammad Ghori, he captured Golan Pass. Muhammad Ghori captured the region of Multan and Uch in Sindh. Now he moved towards the region of Gujarat. But there is a place called as Kaidra, which is located in Siroha district of Rajasthan presently. Here, particularly, the combined confederacy of the Rajput rulers under the leadership of Mool Raj II defeated whom? Defeated whom? This person, Muhammad Ghori. And this is referred as Battle of Kaidra. It is approximately around 30 to 40 miles away from Mount Abu located in Rajasthan. Now this person realized one thing. Until and unless I create a suitable base in the northern part of India, I should not directly move towards the western part of India. Okay? Now just remember one thing. Now Multan, Punjab, Uch, okay, he captured that region. Now he started moving further. Now he drove away the Ghaznavids from the region of Punjab and he reached till the regions of Bhatinda. Okay. Now at that time, Ajmer was being ruled by Prithviraj Chauhan ji. And Prithviraj Chauhan ji knew the strategic importance of Sirhind, also referred as Tarabhind, simple words, Bhatinda. So it was important to capture the fort of Sirhind. Okay, why? Because Sirhind now became the borders of whom? The borders of the territories of Prithviraj Chauhan ji and Muhammad Ghori from 1186 to 1191 AD. As I have given you the example previously that many historians or many books reveal that particularly there were only two major battles that were being fought. First battle of Tarain in 1191 AD and second battle of Tarain in 1192 AD. That is a partial truth, my friend. Okay, there is a book called as Prithviraj Raso, which was written by Chandra Bardai, one of the court poets in the court of, Prithviraj Chauhan ji. He mentions that there were approximately 17 to 21 battles that were being fought. There is another book which is referred as Prithviraj Vijay, which mentions about approximately 21 skirmishes or battles between the forces of Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan ji. Another important book, Hamir Mahakavya, mentions about 7 important skirmishes. Prabandh Kosh mentions about 20 skirmishes or battles between Muhammad Ghori, the forces of Muhammad Ghori, and Prithviraj Chauhan ji. Okay, so particularly here the book reveals a very different thing. So now what happened? Obviously, when both of them are going to share territories, Sirhind, okay, and these many skirmishes are going on, obviously the war becomes inevitable. The war becomes unavoidable. Finally, in 1191 AD, the forces of Prithviraj Chauhan ji met the forces of Muhammad Ghori on the battlefields of Tarain, located in Karnal, Haryana. Prithviraj Chauhan ji was being supported by his brother Hariraj and able commanders like Skand, Udayraj and Govindaraj Tomar of Delhi. Okay, apart from this, Prithviraj Chauhan ji's army was particularly divided into 5 major parts: right side cavalry and right side infantry, left side cavalry and left side infantry, and in the middle was the elephant section, and that was being led by whom? That was being led by Prithviraj Chauhan ji. I repeat, strategically, in the first battle of Tarain, what happened particularly? In the first battle of Tarain, the army of Prithviraj Chauhan ji was divided into 5 parts. And these 5 parts are right hand cavalry, left hand cavalry, right hand infantry, left hand infantry. And in the between or in the center, there was an elephant section personally led by Prithviraj Chauhan ji. Approximately, I'm telling you the rough figures as per different historians such as Jadunath Sarkar, approximately the army of Prithviraj Chauhan ji consisted of 30 to 35,000 soldiers. Now, on the other hand, the army of Muhammad Ghori, it consisted approximately of 25 to 30,000 soldiers. Now, his army, Muhammad Ghori's army, was further divided into 3 parts: left, right and center. And what we say, the army was referred as Lashkar. So the entire Lashkar was being basically divided into 3 parts. Here it was being divided into 5 parts. So the 3 parts here was right, which is referred as Mamana, center, which is referred as Kalbe, and Masara, the left part of the army of Muhammad Ghori. What happened? Rajput rulers, what we say confederacy, initiated the attack, and they directly attacked the left and the right part of the Ghori's army. There was a complete chaotic situation, and in that situation, many of the soldiers of the Ghori's army started running away. They started fleeing away from the battlefield, and an attempt was made by Muhammad Ghori himself. Now what happened? Muhammad Ghori, he started escaping. And when Muhammad Ghori started escaping, what happened? At that time, Govindaraj Tomar ji, he came in front of Muhammad Ghori. And to protect himself, Muhammad Ghori, hit Govindaraj Tomar ji with a spear. So what happened in that case? The 2 teeth of Govindaraj Tomar ji were broken. So with the help of a lance, immediately he pushed Muhammad Ghori, and Muhammad Ghori was severely wounded. Immediately a Khilji noble came running, and with the help of horses, this person ran away from the battlefield of Tarain. So in the first battle of Tarain, Prithviraj Chauhan ji emerged victorious. And the most important thing, many historians like Jadunath Sarkar ji believes that this person was being chased till 40 miles. But still, with the help of the fast moving cavalry, this person ran away from the battlefield. So this was the first battle of Tarain in which Prithviraj Chauhan ji emerged victorious. Okay. Then comes second battle of Tarin, and second battle of Tarin was fought immediately in 1192 AD. First Battle of Tarain, it was fought in 1191 AD. Second Battle of Tarain was fought immediately after the First Battle of Tarain, that is in 1192 AD. Many historians do believe that in this battle, Muhammad Ghori emerged victorious and Prithviraj was taken into captive. By whom? Prithviraj was being taken into captive by Muhammad Ghori. Yes, Sushmita ji, you have a question. Prithviraj Raso was a book written by whom? It was a book written by a court poet whose name was Chandra Bardai. I'll also come to that point. Okay, don't worry about this. Actually, the half part of the book is written by Chandra Bardai. The other part, I'll tell you. So, in Second Battle of Tarain, what happened? Muhammad Ghori emerged victorious. Now, different people have different opinion. Now, basically it is believed that after some time, Prithviraj Chauhan ji died in Ajmer itself. And his last rites were being conducted by his brother Hariraj. Okay, many historians, many books reveal that after Second Battle of Tarain, Prithviraj Chauhan ji died in Ajmer itself. Okay, and his last rites and rituals were being conducted by his brother, whose name was Hariraj. In fact, his court poet, whose name was Chandra Bardai, he also died along with Prithviraj Chauhan ji. And the book Prithviraj Raso, which was initiated by Chandra Bardai, was completed by Chandra Bardai's son, whose name was Jalhan. This has not been mentioned in any of the major books. You go through the NCERT, you go through the Tamil Nadu State Board book or any state board book for that sake, you go through the major reference book, you'll come to know one thing. There directly you will find one thing, that Prithviraj Raso was being written by Chandra Bardai. But the actual part is, half part of the Prithviraj Raso was being written by Chandra Bardai, whereas the other half was being written by his son, whose name was Jalhan. Okay? So Prithviraj Raso mentions that he was being buried in Ajmer itself. But there's another part of the story. And this story has been depicted by different Islamic scholars that this person, Muhammad Ghori, he took Prithviraj Chauhan ji to Ghazni. And he blinded Prithviraj Chauhan ji in Ghazni. Now many historians also believe that what happened, this person, Muhammad Ghori, he blinded Prithviraj Chauhan ji, and Prithviraj Chauhan ji, through his skills of archery, killed Muhammad Ghori. So there are dissenting opinions of different historians. Okay, please do not get confused about this. Like many historians do believe that Prithviraj Chauhan ji was buried in India itself, and many historians believe that Prithviraj Chauhan ji was taken by Muhammad Ghori to Ghazni. He was blinded by Ghazni. He was blinded by Ghori. And there, like specifically using his skills of archery, he killed Muhammad Ghori. Okay? And many believe that, in fact, Prithviraj Chauhan ji was being buried in the region of Afghanistan itself. Okay? So this is one part of the story. Now moving ahead. After this, Muhammad Ghori, he came back to India. When he came back to India, he defeated the ruler Jayachandra of Garhwal dynasty. And after defeating the ruler of Jayachandra, what happened? He goes back to his country. He goes back to Afghanistan, that is Kabul. Now, when he goes back to Kabul, what happens? He leaves the administration in the hands of his two loyal slaves. One was Kutubuddin Aybak and the other one was Bakhtiyar Khilji. Kutubuddin Aybak in the coming years laid down the foundation of slave dynasty, which is considered as one of the most important dynasties of Delhi Sultanate. And the other one was Bakhtiyar Khilji. Okay? So now what happened further about this person whose name was Bakhtiyar Khilji. Now Bakhtiyar Khilji, Kutubuddin Aybak. Kutubuddin Aybak, he majorly focused on the northern part of India. He focused on consolidation of northern part of India. He initially led two unsuccessful attacks towards the region of Somnath. But later on he was successful. And what did this person do, whose name was Bakhtiyar Khilji? Bakhtiyar Khilji, he focused towards east. Now, Bakhtiyar Khilji, he went to the ruler or governor of Awadh. And with the help of governor of Awadh, he got two villages around the region of Awadh. One among them was Mirzapur. Then he started focusing on the eastern part. He destroyed many universities of the east. Nalanda University, Vikramshila University, Udantipur universities of Bihar and so on. It is believed that thousands and lakhs of Buddhist manuscripts, ancient Hindu manuscripts, they were being burned for the next 3 months. Hundreds of monks, thousands of monks were being slaughtered. They were being burnt alive by Bakhtiyar Khilji. And like it is said that Nalanda University, which is considered as the epitome of wisdom and knowledge, the foundation of Nalanda University, whose foundation was being laid down by Kumar Gupta, was burned down to ashes by Bakhtiyar Khilji. Now, one incident again, which is hidden in the books of history, is Battle of Kamrup. Okay, Kamrup, it is located in Assam, and there is one ruler who is he is rarely mentioned in the major reference book, and that ruler's name is ruler Prithu. Okay, his name is Prithu. Now, what is the role of Prithu? How did ruler Prithu of Kamrup, Assam, came in contact with Bakhtiyar Khilji? Let's explore. As I have told you, Bakhtiyar Khilji majorly focused on the eastern part. Okay. Now, when he focused majorly on the eastern part, what happened? He had conquered the region of east, destroyed many universities. Now, what happened? He conquered the region of Nadia district of Bengal. Now he wanted to conquer the region of Tibet. And since he wanted to conquer the region of Tibet, he had to go through the plain regions of Kamrup, that is Assam, and Patkai Boom Hills. And for that, he required the help of the ruler Prithu. Okay? This person, he had conquered major part of eastern India. Who? Bakhtiyar Khilji. Now he was having an eye over Tibet. So, to go to the region of Tibet, he had to go to the plain areas of Assam, plain areas of Kamrup and Patkai Boom. And for this, he required help of whom? He required the help of Prithu. Now, how did he come into contact with Prithu? Like there was a local chieftain whose name was Ali Meek or Ali Meech. So, with the help of Ali, what happened? This person wrote letter to Prithu that I want to conquer the region of Tibet. And in that case, my army wants to go through the region of Kamrup or Assam. To which Prithu, the ruler Prithu, he denied. And when he denied, obviously, the battle is inevitable. Now, fierce battle was fought between whom? Bakhtiyar Khilji and Raja Prithu, which is referred as Battle of Kamrup. Diplomatically, Raja Prithu of the Kamrup or Assam drove away Bakhtiyar Khilji from the region of Assam. How? Like Bakhtiyar Khilji, he wanted to cross the river Brahmaputra. And just away from the river Brahmaputra, what did this Raja Prithu do? He burnt all the, like whatever the regions were there, he burnt all the specifically resources in that region. Because whenever the army of Bakhtiyar Khilji will cross the river and come here, okay, they will get completely exhausted. They won't find any resources. They won't be having food. They won't be having water. Finally, Bakhtiyar Khilji had to retreat. Many historians believe that Bakhtiyar Khilji was being killed by one of his own commanders. And after some time, what happened? Qutbuddin Aibak declared himself as independent and laid down the foundation of slave dynasty, one of the most important dynasties of Delhi Sultanate. So this was majorly about Muhammad Ghori. So now let's explore again within next 5 minutes what were the major reasons particularly for success of Muhammad Ghori. Okay. Yes, Archana ji, Nalanda University of Bihar. Yes, the Nalanda University of Bihar, which was an important seat of Buddhist learning at that time. Okay, now let's explore step by step. This has been mentioned by a historian V.D. Mahajan in his book Medieval India. So, what were the major causes for success of Muhammad Ghori and defeat or failure of Indian rulers? First thing, there was lack of political unity in the country. As I have told you in the start of the session itself, why was Mahmud of Ghazni successful? Because there was internal squabbling among Indian rulers. Why was Muhammad Ghori successful? Because there is internal dissension between the Indian rulers. Okay, I'll give you a very small example about this. I'll give you an example of what we say Khilji dynasty ruler Alauddin Khilji. Okay, one incident I'll tell you and you'll come to know that there is actual internal dissensions between the Indian rulers. Okay, how? The major part of northern India was being captured by Alauddin Khilji. And the major part of southern India, what happened? Alauddin Khilji dispatched one of his loyal noblemen whose name was Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur is also referred as Manikya. Okay, so Malik Kafur was being sent. Now when Malik Kafur, he came to the region of Daulatabad, he came to know about one of the ruler Ramchandra Dev. And Ramchandra Dev had not paid any tribute since past 3 to 5 years to Alauddin Khilji. Now what happened? This person Malik Kafur, he told Ramchandra Dev that you need not pay a single penny as a tribute. Just do one thing. Help me and my army to lead the expeditions in South India. I don't want money, I don't want manpower. I'll take care of it. You just show me the path to South India. And after that, Malik Kafur, he conquered the region of Warangal. He defeated the Kakatiyas of Warangal. Malik Kafur, he captured the region of Dwar Samudra of Karnataka. He defeated the Veer Pandya of Madurai. So what happened? The entire direction was being shown by Ramchandra Dev. So this proves one thing, that there is internal dissensions between the Indian rulers. Second, the military organization of Indian rulers was defective and could not succeed against Ghori. Now what happened? As I've given you one of the major examples of Prithviraj Chauhanji, that Prithviraj Chauhanji's army was majorly divided into 5 parts. Right-hand cavalry, left-hand cavalry, right-hand infantry, left-hand infantry and the elephants. But in general, the army of Indian rulers was divided into 3 parts. Center, left and right. Okay. On the other hand, the early Islamic invaders, their army was divided into 5 parts. Center, left, right, advance and reserve. Apart from this, we majorly focused on the elephants. For us, war was a kind of a military pomp. But here, for the early Islamic invaders, the most important thing here was, we want to win the war either by hook or by crook. Secondly, they constantly came up with new tactics. Like Babur. Babur, in the forthcoming years, he came to India. Now Babur, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi in first battle of Panipat, which occurred in 1526 AD. Now what was one of the major reasons for success of Babur? Although Ibrahim Lodi's army was 10 times bigger than the army of Babur, the reason was what? The military weapons and techniques used by Babur. He was the first Muslim ruler to use gunpowder in India. My friends, I have not said that he was the first ruler to use gunpowder. He was the first Muslim ruler to use gunpowder in India. He used at that time one technique we will see in Mughals, Tuglu Numa technique or Rumi technique. Babur. So, in simple words, here I mean to say one thing, and that is, the rulers, particularly the Islamic rulers, they came up with new military weapons, new military tactics. Okay, so Babur used Tuglunuma and Rumi techniques. Similarly here, now I'll give you one of the small example. Whenever the Islamic rulers, they used to sit on the horses, what happened? They used to have stirrups. What is stirrups? so that they can put their legs into that stirrups and they can easily balance themselves, because they have to fight in different directions. And since they have to fight in different directions, they won't fall from the horse. So they use stirrups. Okay? Apart from this, what happened here? As I've told you, here basically we majorly believed in pomp, military pomp. And these people, the early Islamic invaders, they majorly focused on winning the battle by hook or crook. Anyhow, we have to win the battle. Okay. So particularly speaking, this was the major reasons for success. There's a historian named as Dr. Ishwari Prasad. He mentions that the Hindus were divided into many castes. Okay. And particularly, as we have said, one of the major, now I'll tell you one more thing. Why did Muhammad bin Qasim, he is considered as the first Muslim invader of India. Apart from imperialism, one more intention was that. And what was that intention? Shikan. What is Shikan? Spread of Islam. Second, same policy was being followed by Mahmud of Ghazni. Apart from plundering India, spread of Islam. Muhammad Ghori, apart from plundering India, establishing permanent settlement in India, he also had the same intention, spread of Islam. Shikan. Okay? Shikan in certain texts is also referred as destroyer of temples. So particularly speaking, here the Hindus were being divided into different castes, different sect, different subsect. That became one of the major reasons. Okay? And the most important aspect, internal dissensions among the Indian rulers. So that were the major causes for success of Muhammad Ghori. Okay? Hope you understood the invasions led by Muhammad Ghori. Okay? Yesterday we had seen about Islam. Getting the points clear? Now one more thing I'll tell you about the certain principles of Islam. Okay. I guess I have not covered the principles of Islam. Okay. Like when we'll study Sufism. In Sufism, we are going to study about different terminology. Like where has the word Sufism derived from? It has been derived from the word Suf. Suf means wool. What is Bashara? What is Beshara? What is Fakir? What is Darvesh? What is Wali? What is Dargah? All these are terminologies that we are going to study as a part of Sufism. But there are certain, what we say, principles of Islam. Now, what are certain principles of Islam that we need to understand? I'll give you a small example about this. Like, there are 4 to 5 major principles of Islam. First, what we say, the thing is here, La ilaha illallah and Muhammad ur Rasul. The Islam believes particularly in one thing, that Allah is one. And Muhammad, Paigambar Sahab, is his Rasul. And we had discussed yesterday, Rasul means messenger. Now, Islam, particularly, they offer prayers to Allah at least 5 times in a day. And namaz is being conducted particularly 5 times in a day. Like there are different namaz. Duhar ki namaz, Zuhar ki namaz, Asr ki namaz, Maghrib ki namaz, Isha ki namaz, and so on. These are the timings of the namaz. One namaz is conducted in the morning. Isha namaz, it is conducted particularly in the night. Maghrib, it is conducted in the evening. So these are the different prayers, namaz. Third important thing, or the third important pillar of Islam is zakat. Now, what is zakat? Zakat, please remember the terminologies. As I've told you previously, apart from the facts and concepts, UPSC usually has a tendency to focus on the terminologies. Okay? So, small example, zakat. Whatever you earn, you have to give certain part of your earning as a charity. At least 2.5% of what you have earned, at least I am saying, that should be charity. And that would be utilized for the underprivileged section of the society. That is nothing but zakat. Similarly, observing Roza, the holy fasting in the holy month of Ramzan, one of the principles of Islam. Another important principles of Islam is at least once in a lifetime, a person needs to go to Hajj. And the person who has completed Hajj is referred as Mustati. Please remember the terminology. Now, what is Hajj? Now, like you might have heard about this, that in Hinduism, what do we people do? We go to Char Dham Yatra. The Char Dham Yatra also includes visiting the 12 Jyotirlings. Correct? Similarly, in Islam, there's a principle that at least once in a lifetime, at least once, one has to go through the process of Hajj. They have to visit the places of Makkah and Medina. They have to go through the building that is referred as Kaaba in Makkah. And the person who has done the entire pilgrimage of Hajj is referred as Mustati. So this is again one of the principles of Islam. In Islam, the pig meat and alcohol is banned. In Islam, idol worship is banned. So these are the major principles of Islam. Okay. Now moving. Tomorrow we are going to begin with the Delhi Sultanate. In Delhi Sultanate, particularly tomorrow we'll begin with the slave dynasty, also referred as Mamluk dynasty or Ilbari dynasty during the time of Iltutmish. Tomorrow we are going to focus on 3 important rulers of slave dynasty. Qutbuddin Aibak, who laid down the foundation of slave dynasty. Iltutmish, also referred as Shamsuddin, who was slave as well as son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak. Then we'll study about Razia Sultana, the only female ruler not only of slave dynasty but of entire Delhi Sultanate. How Razia Sultana, she broke the patriarchal mindset at that time. How she started the policy of appointing the non-Turks in the administration, and this actually infuriated the Turkish nobles. Tomorrow, we are going to focus on these points. Hope you understood. I hope you understood the major parts of Mahmud of Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori, Muhammad bin Qasim. Yes, Nisha, I can understand. These terminologies are not different. These terminologies are new to you guys right now. Okay. Hence it seems different, but it is not different. Okay. With the passage of time, when you keep on revising the concepts continuously, you will get the terminologies. Okay, so don't worry about that. These terminologies are different or something like. Please also do one thing. Have a pen and paper along with you in every session so that you can note down the key points. Whenever you have a doubt, please stop me there itself and you can ask me the doubt. And apart from this, what should you do? As I've told, please keep on noting down the important terminologies. Getting the points clear? Because many times there are many things that are not written in the PPT. Okay, that are not written in the PDF. But while teaching, it comes in a flow. Like just I gave you an example about Chandra Bardai. And I've told you Prithviraj Raso was written by 2 people, Chandra Bardai and his son Jalhan. So it just came in a flow. Okay, so please have a pen and paper along with you. Yes, Archana, you can go through my sessions for the preparation of state government exam. Okay, but apart from this, I'll also tell you state governments usually also focus on the facts more than concept. So you have to go through the state specific books also apart from the lectures that I am providing. Okay. Okay guys, with this I'll stop my session, and before that, the Pratigya batch, which is particularly starting on 23rd June 2025. Okay, it is a morning batch for 2026. The basic concepts would be taught. Apart from this, you'll be taught from the scratch. The basic NCERT of history, geography, polity, economy, how to develop answer writing skills, how to develop essay writing skills. It is a P2I program, prelims to interview. And I personally believe that you should avail the benefits of this batch because it is not at a very high price. It is at a very minimum price. Okay, 30,999. And for that you can use my code Alok Live. I repeat, you can use my code Alok Live. Apart from this, the aspirants who are new to the platform, You have a question that, sir, where to download the PDF of the session from? You can download the PDF of the session from my Telegram channel, history_Alok Ojha. I repeat, history_Alok Ojha. From there, you can download the PDF of the session. Hope you understood things. Okay, guys, with this, I'll take your leave. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.